Hey there, YouTubers. It's the 21st. Sorry, it's the 22nd of December, year 2020. And apparently it's also today, or actually I should say, yesterday marked the day of winter solstice. Solstice. Sorry, I just didn't get the pronunciation correct, or at least so I thought. Let's try. Let's try to make my iPad pronounce that word. Solstice, is it? Sorry. Solstice. Shit, I just excuse me. I pretty much for the first time in, since several years ago, I have to check up, I have to look up the dictionary in Mandarin Chinese to find out the English, how I should say doji, doji, dongzi in English. So it's sorry, it's still incorrect. Oh my god, have I become so dumb? How do I spell that? Solstice, is it? Solstice. Winter solstice, yeah? Winter. So it's
Solstice.
Yeah, it's the winter. Yesterday, yeah, apparently marked the winter solstice of year 2020. Yeah, sorry I got myself so sidetracked. Yeah, tonight in this filming session, I just like to share with you, some more facts and some other harsh truths about my life. So here I shall warn you in advance that this video might contain a bit of a ranting and venting. So if you don't find yourself particularly inclined or predisposed or accustomed to hearing ranting, venting, even some slightly some slight curse words, please stay away. And if you do happen to be a minor, please stop watching this video right there, right now. So yeah, so I just like to tell you guys about my current frustrations and disappointment with my life. Also my also some frustrations with myself and my inabilities to make a difference. So oh my god, the battery is streaming again. Excuse me guys, I have to charge it. Yeah, so basically you can say that I got quite lost with my life, since at the moment I see no end to I see no end to the end of this tunnel of depression and suicidal thoughts and intrusive thoughts shite. Though yeah, with the assistance of some medications, I have kept them under control, thanks be to God and the doctor. So yeah, and also thanks be to my grandma and my aunt, the aunt of mine, and other relatives, other stakeholders, which might also include you guys, since I rely on you guys to generate a bit of to generate a slight amount of profit in order to make myself a living, on Patreon, So yeah, but I certainly do not expect making a living by remaining a YouTuber that easily. I certainly don't expect that to happen so easily as I previously imagined. Yeah, so yeah, everything takes time. Everyone needs time to grow into a better person, and that's absolutely true. Even for those polymaths, baby Plato's, Aristotle, and Socrates, Einstein, etc. Yeah, so it's just so this is getting quite awkward as far as I can perceive, and also I would like you guys to know that I have lost track how many times I paid the doctor visits. If my memory still serves, today should mark the maybe the 10th or the 11th of the 10th or the 11th visit to the doctor, who observed me a bit, asked me if I experienced any changes to my symptoms, to my current status or condition, and then he continued he proceeded to prescribe me some medication, of course this time for roughly a month, that says for 4 weeks. Of course that took some work of persuasion from that kind and warm-hearted aunt of mine to make it part of the reality. So which means I don't have to endure the trials and also the tribulations of long distance travel by a vehicle, by a car. I know I am complaining and venting a bit, maybe not a bit but a lot. Yes, you can say that, and but as I said before, at the beginning of this video, if you don't like venting or ranting, please do not watch it. So it's Jesus Christ. I had in case you hadn't noticed, I have been contemplating my escape, my departure from China for quite some time now, until now, since I perceive that I don't fit in China. And it's my fault. Yes, it is my fault. It has not I can't lay the blames onto a whole country or a whole ethnicity, that would draw me too much unwanted attention first and foremost. But most importantly, it does me no good by laying those blames onto ethnicities, other people. Since it obviously it doesn't earn me any profit or cash, so that I can improve the current quality or the standard of my living. Nor can I, benefit from so doing. Nor can the people around me benefit from me doing so. Yeah. So yeah, I have been. Yeah, there is another concern that keeps bugging me for quite some time. That is mental health problem. I fear that once I reach, once I, even if, assuming I do manage, I do manage, I do have managed, assuming I did have managed to depart from China to, to Europe, let's just say to Belgium, to Switzerland, or even to Iceland. Enchanté. Enchanté. Yeah, so excuse me guys. Yeah, so it's just yeah, enchanté. After that enchanté, and I did while in those countries for some time, I might just get bored, with the views, the streets, the neighborhood, and yeah, there's what troubles me even more, with all this COVID-19 shite continues to to roam around the whole planet. I might not be able to secure a steady flow of income so that I can remain adequately sheltered, and adequately fed. And the more insecurity I feel, the less capable of working hard becomes, and that creates massively and terrifying a massive and a terrifying vicious cycle. As you can see, from several vids that I filmed, near the end of my previous exile / homelessness, I basically called for help. I basically called my aunt and an uncle of mine and my grandma for help, since I couldn't take it anymore. Well, not it wasn't because that I ran out of money, but yeah, it was because I was burned out, and I couldn't take the loneliness plus depression plus suicidal thoughts plus intrusive thoughts to hurt myself, to hurt the hotel room attendants and the recipients, sorry, the receptionist, it's I just couldn't take those shite anymore, and it all those shites all converged onto me in parallel simultaneously, which therefore rendered me incapable of doing any sort of work. they rendered me unable to stay focused, on my work, on my tasks, even as simple as filming a YouTube vid, even as simple as typing a 50-word paragraph, on Microsoft Word, or even just writing a simple email. So yeah, so that's precisely why I had to reach out to them, to pick me up from the hotel and seek medical attention. And that's why I am here again. That's why here am I. Here I am. Excuse me. So yeah, that's I perceive, that's also why, I haven't made up my mind to live in Japan for several years, to do my studies, to do some uni, to attempt some uni degrees, or just to work, for a large or a decently large and prestigious corporation, and hell, I don't even suppose that I qualify for getting an offer to work in a decent company, back there in Japan. With my current condition, they might not even consider hiring me. Since it's just so crap. I just feel so lost. But I do. The good news is, the good news, and such good news still remains. It still remains within the range of my perception and cognition and conception. Since I do find myself to have a knack for talking about blah blah blah, pretty much anything that emerges quite arbitrarily or randomly in my mind, I can talk about it, pretty much for more than 10 minutes, at least, more, or maybe even for more than 30 minutes. That's kind of I don't say, sorry, excuse me, I beg your pardon. I don't know if I should call it awkward or terrifying or annoying or irritating or artistic or or humorous, or just plainly some stupid. It's just yes, I have been called, I have received multitudes after multitudes of labels from from plenty of netizens I came across on the global internet and in real life, or at least the folks that I met, that I used to have face-to-face interactions in real life, and then they became netizens that I often come across, and they begin to label me with all those shit. And yes, and I have to admit, getting labeled, yes, does make me quite upset on some occasions, and yet I will, thanks be to God, I still find myself at least partially competent to shake those dust and shite all off. Almost immediately after I realized that what the labels they stick on me mean nothing if they all got thrown or cast into a lake of fire afterwards. It's just, yeah, but I'm not here cursing them, but instead, I just want you guys to know that whosoever loves to the end, loves loves the such love can last, and you certainly don't want to be one of those who got their sorry asses cast into the lake of fire, do you? Well, even if you say you do want to get your sorry ass cast into lake of fire, then be my guest. I won't. I have no right. I have no power to stop you from thinking like that. But I do still possess the let's just say the duty to dissuade you, or to disencourage you, to disencourage you from the eternal damnation and torment. Since would you rather choose a life full of agony without hope, or would you choose a life still full of agony and yet nevertheless with hope? So yeah, the choice is yours. It's in I have to say, Christ has done the perfect work of salvation and redemption for us, but that does not mean that you get automatically saved or redeemed. You have to make such decision on your own, by your own accord, with your own faith in Him, with your and you have to do so willingly instead of reluctantly, or by coercion of somebody else. So yeah, but in any regard, in any event, I just like to make this video to encourage myself a bit by blowing off some steam through venting and some slight ranting. I hope this video can serve its needs of in encouraging you as well, or at least another purpose of teaching you how to vent and rant with a little bit of civility, unlike barbarians or assholes. Unlike what they tend to do online, trolling around, making unreasonable complaints about people, about the world, about the regimes, about the systems, but about their bosses, their superiors, but instead they never seek, or I should say they seldom seek, or they rarely seek ways to make themselves evolve and improve and grow into a better human individual. But instead they keep doing that. They keep trying to upset people, to upset other people. They often self-deceive and get deceived by others, by other people with mouths full of deceit and deception. And for such kind of people, I wish you guys all the best, and I sincerely hope that you can change, or at least you can, or at least I hope that you can refrain from so doing, as much as possible. But I certainly don't expect that you will change that fast or that efficiently, or that within the blink of the eyes, But in any regard, I still, no matter which stance you take, which side you choose, what ethnicity or which group of ethnicities you belong to, or you happen to belong to, you are always welcomed to come to my channel and watch my vids, and see my contents, see the contents I created on my Patreon page. Since there are, I post some of them. I post, from time to time. Bear in mind, I post plenty of other, contents on Patreon that costs you nothing but time and energy to consume and watch. Yeah, so do feel free to check out my Patreon page in case you feel interested. And as a result, I'm not gonna include the the ending scene for this video, since I already self-advertised my Patreon page. So yeah, but yeah, in any regard, I have to figure out a way not to get bored, not to get depressed as often as I currently do. So assuming I do make my way, I do work my angles, and managed to depart from China to Europe. So yeah, in any event, I will let you guys know in case I think of something more productive and inspiring and educational. Thank you very much for watching and listening to this video. I hope to see you guys in my next videos on YouTube, also on Patreon. So stay safe, stay put, remain steadfast, stay faithful, and stay tuned. I shall see you guys in the next videos on YouTube. Take care, and peace be upon you. Bye bye. Cheers.